One of the things that actually bothers me about this is that you have a number of innocent folks that are being adversely affected. And what I mean by that is a lot of the federal employees in these agencies, they're not the ones that are responsible for the shutdown, yet they are being affected, and I do think that's wrong. They're sort of the innocent bystanders that are being affected by not getting paychecks potentially because of a political fight that they don't have anything to do with and they don't have the ability to solve. But Randy, with that being said, one thing that's interesting when the government shuts down is you start looking around, and a lot of times you say, okay, so what is the impact on me again? Because in many cases it's difficult to actually see or feel the impact. I think that what's happened, and this is my personal opinion, I think that years ago, 3 years ago, and in the past when they were supporting this, they believed in border security, that not saying that we should have a wall and not let anyone come in the United States, but simply that we need to know the people that are coming in. Let me ask you a question. How many of y'all do not have locks on your doors? Raise your hand. But seriously, you have locks on your doors. We have locks on our church. Our church has locks. In fact, I think every church I've ever been to has locks. It's not because you don't want people to come in. It's because you want to make sure that people come in at the right time and you know who the people are. And so that's why you have locks on the doors in your home, and you have a peephole maybe on your door or a Ring doorbell. How many of y'all have a Ring or a Nest doorbell where you can get a video of the people that are coming in? I don't think that you're racist for having that. I don't think that you're anti-immigration for having that. It's because you want to know who it is that's trying to come into your home. And so it's the same thing for our border wall. It's the same thing for security. We need to funnel people in to the checkpoints where we can check and see who these people are. Are you supposed to be here? Do you have the right papers or visa or whatever to come into the United States? Have you ever heard Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, or anybody else say we need to tear down the border wall? We need to get rid of these border checkpoints. We need to stop hassling people with immigration when they fly into the United States in airports? No, you've never heard anyone ever say it. And I'll say it again, just a little while ago on TV. Mark Morgan, who was and I apologize, I didn't catch the title, but he was the director of either immigration or customs enforcement, or possibly it was Customs and Border Protection, just said, under President Obama, the director just said, we need a wall. I don't think that we should be treated any differently from some of these federal employees that are not getting paid these federal employees, like I mentioned before, they're not responsible for the shutdown, and they quite frankly don't have the ability to open the government back up. And so they're being penalized for something they're not responsible for and don't have control over and can't fix. And I just don't think that's necessarily fair, which is why we ask to be treated the same way as those folks. But the next step is that there's supposed to be another meeting tomorrow, and I think that the meeting should continue on a daily basis, 7 days a week until there is progress made. But I think it's important to note, well, I said before, I don't think that either side has handled this perfectly, that in order to have a negotiation, both sides have to put things on the table. The White House has repeatedly made offers. The House of Representatives did pass a bill through the House of Representatives just a few weeks ago that did fund government. It would have kept government open. It funded border wall. It funded some of the disaster funds that were needed, and that bill hadn't gone anywhere because of Chuck Schumer over in the Senate. So we did pass a bill. I voted for it. I would vote for it again, but the meetings need to continue on a daily basis.